After a successful win 2-0 against Villarreal at home, Barcelona will now face in la Copa del Rey Cultural Leonesa. It is safe to say that this is not an ordinary match. Normally in Copa del Rey matches, big teams like Barcelona itself tend to rotate a lot of players. However, this time around, due to regulations, Barcelona cannot feature more than 3 filial players. That means that now Ernesto Valverde will be forced to start some of our first team players and not give rest to those that actually deserve it. That is why in this video, instead of doing kind of like a normal match preview, we're gonna be looking into 3 different things Valverde must do if we want to get this win against Cultural Leonesa at home tomorrow. If by any means you're interested in cheap, reliable footballing kits, be sure to check out Antigua. Links are going to be in the description down below. They provide worldwide coverage, which is one of the best things I can recommend about them, as well as secure payment options to ensure you get the best service possible. You get the deal, you know the drill, but now let's get right into it. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, welcome back to another video here on the channel. And just like always, it's great having you once again. And well, if you're new to the channel, I encourage you to click the subscribe button down below. I feel that you will actually be kind of fond of this channel, and I'll just try to deliver as much better quality content as I can for you to keep enjoying. So let's start off this video by taking a look at kind of like a segment that I'm going to talk about in a later video, which I'm gonna publish probably after the game against Cultural Leonesa, and that is sort of the post-match reactions of Carles Aleñá, but most importantly for this specific occasion, Ernesto Valverde, because like I already mentioned in the teaser before the intro, I mentioned that it was kind of like a regulation that didn't allow Barcelona to play as much kind of like filial players or secondary team Barca B players that they would like to start in this game. And that is something that I feel will actually hinder us in this situation, not exactly for this game, trying to get the win. I think we will get the win no matter what, especially since it is at the Camp Nou, but certainly something that can hinder us in the long run because we're not going to be able to give rest to as much players as we would want to. So this is what Ernesto Valverde in the post-match conference had to say about this regulation.
Bueno, tenemos un problema con eso, no lo voy a negar, porque al final hay una reglamentación que tenemos que cumplir, no nos podemos equivocar y tampoco andamos muy sobrados de efectivos. Estábamos con 15 jugadores del primer equipo en la convocatoria y sí, tenemos que hacer números en cuanto a eso. Lo haremos mañana más que nada para pues que no se aparezca ningún golpe, ninguna lesión, pero sí es algo que tenía en la cabeza antes de empezar.
Okay, so now with that out of the way, we can finally move into the actual things that matter for this game. What is the very first thing that Valverde needs to do to try and get us a very good result in this game? Well, the very first thing that I believe he should do is give Carles Aleñá the start. I feel that whenever a player rewards you on the field, you being as a manager, you're entitled to also demonstrate that kind of value that you see on the player by starting him or giving him a little bit more minutes than what you did before in that occasion. So in this sense, Carles Aleñá deserves to start this game in my opinion. He needs to keep that continuity, and certainly because of his form and how strong, how confident he looks after the game against Villarreal, I feel that he could be a very good presence in this midfield, not only because just being a young player, but now because he's also feeling to be kind of like a Barcelona player. So let's give him that role and let's see what he can do in this game. So taking into account that regulation that we already talked about, like 3 times now in this video, which are the players that I would actually rest because of this? So in number 2, I'm gonna be saying that Barcelona should rest Jordi Alba, Gerard Piqué and Sergio Busquets. These are 3 players that currently Barcelona doesn't have a kind of substitute for them in the bench. So these players, we need to actually safeguard them, we need to wrap them up in kind of like bubble wrap or something, and we need to hope that they remain fit for the rest of the season. Because if one of these players actually drops out, we're in very big trouble. In the case of Gerard Piqué, we don't have nobody in the bench right now, probably until the winter transfer window, where we are going to bring somebody in to just have as a substitute. We need somebody else, and Gerard Piqué, if he goes out, well, we have nothing. Sergio Busquets, yes, we can have other people like Rakitic that can slot back into that position, where I think he would actually will not do that bad. But yeah, still we don't have any natural replacement. And don't even get me started with Jordi Alba. I think that Barcelona opted for Juan Miranda, and that doesn't seem to be kind of like the most possible option, when now we have somebody like Marco Correa just completely demolishing with Eibar. So right now we need to rest these players and we need to safeguard them as much as possible, because once again, like I said, if we're missing them by the end of the season, we're gonna be in very big trouble. And now the final thing which I would recommend Valverde to actually do in this game is start Coutinho in midfield. Like, come on Valverde, please. You know that Coutinho is way better to be able to play in the midfield, and that is something that actually pains me to see, because now there's a lot of reports coming from Mundo Deportivo, from us, they're saying that Barcelona demand more of Coutinho, and that Coutinho, they would expected him to become kind of be like an unstoppable player, you know? But if you actually play him out of position, when has Coutinho been a left winger? When? Tell me when. With Jurgen Klopp, he played in that position, but it was a completely different system that it actually allowed Coutinho to have a lot more midfield play and actually delivered and let the other kind of like roles go to Roberto Firmino and Sadio Mane. So in that sense, I don't think it's viable to actually use that as an argument. So Coutinho have never been a left winger, and you could see right now that once again, like a lot of you have been commenting, he doesn't have the pace to overrun players for the left hand flank, and he just looks so much more confident when he plays deeper down in midfield. So we should just let him do that, you know, because that's where we're gonna see a Coutinho which is gonna be absolutely tearing it up. We saw that Coutinho against Inter, and I will like to see that Coutinho, that same Coutinho, against Cultural Leonesa on Wednesday. So we need him in the midfield, please. And taking into account that because of this regulation, we'll most probably start Malcolm and Dembele both in the wings in this game, it looks like the only thing possible for Coutinho will be the midfield. So hopefully Valverde does this. Hopefully Valverde rests the players that I said, and hopefully Valverde, of course, gives Carles Aleñá the minutes he deserves. But now guys, to start wrapping this up, don't worry, I know you were gonna ask about my predicted 11, so this is what I'm gonna go for this game. In the goalkeeper position, it's kind of like a tricky situation because Jasper Cillessen has already resumed training with Barcelona, so I'm kind of like turned if he would actually start in this game, but I think that we should go with the safe bet and go with Marc-André ter Stegen. For the right, it's only one option, Nelson Semedo. In the center back partnership, I'm gonna go with Clement Lenglet and with Jorge Cuenca. For the left, Juan Miranda. In the middle of the park, I'm gonna go with Rakitic as the main CDM. For the right, I will go with Carles Aleñá. For the left, Philippe Coutinho. And then up top, I will go with Malcolm, Munir, and Ousmane Dembele. The wildcard for today could be Denis Suarez, but since we have so many different players that are injured in different positions, Denis Suarez right now is one of the most versatile players we can have. So for instance, if Malcolm or Dembele is not working in this game, we can bring on Denis Suarez, and then the same thing can be done in the midfield. So I think that right now we should keep Denis Suarez in the kind of like in the hold. Or the other thing we could do is start Denis Suarez for Coutinho and then give Coutinho kind of like this super sub role for this game, because we know that probably he's one of the best players we will have in tomorrow's game. So that could also be another option. That's gonna be everything for right now, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, be sure to drop us a like and a dislike if you didn't. And once again, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, be sure to click the subscribe button down below. I'll see you probably after the game against Cultural Leonesa. So this is gonna be everything for right now. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.